video, I'm excited to show you guys the most futuristic technology on the planet. But next, we're going with the $10,000 technology, Neuralink, which is a computer chip surgically implanted into the brain, enabling people like Nolan here to reconnect to the world. So you were paralyzed from the neck down.
Yeah, and for about 8 years, I was trying to find some purpose in my life.
And then you got Neuralink, and what has that changed?
Anything anyone can do on a computer, I can do.
And he literally does it by using only his brain. You are currently moving that with your thoughts.
Yeah, man.
I want to see you send a text with your brain.
Okay.
His hands are paralyzed, but we're gonna film them so you can see they're not moving. And using the neurons firing in Nolan's brain, Neuralink can translate those signals into movements. He just typed hi with his mind. Is this not crazy to anyone else? But that's not all he can do. So you just think left, and you're about to turn left.
Left, right, don't die.
No!
There we go.
He absolutely crushed us playing with only his mind.
I never thought would allow me to do anything like this.
And future technology can not only help the mind, but also the body for people like Kai.
First off, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Baruch HaKadosh. I want to give double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of GMS who have taught us this word and teach us this word today. And I want to give a salutation unto the elect of the nation of Israel. This is the brother Yatazakba with the GMS Nebraska camp. And in this lesson, what I want to get into is going over the topic of the mark of the beast that we read about in Revelation chapter 13, as well as other places. But I want to start in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, as a basis for the lesson, which it says, "And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads." You know, now, who is that he speaking about? Speaking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, you know, and it's not, you know, Edomites in general. It's not your, you know, Edomites, you know, so-called white people that you work with, the people that you see in your everyday lives. You know, you have the elites of Esau, these elite banking families, which make the rules and dictate things behind closed doors, who, you know, the governments of the world answer to. You know, the people that we don't see on TV, the people that we don't see in the news, you know, they are the ones who really call the shots. And, you know, they have a goal, an enterprise that they are wanting to accomplish, which we're reading about here, where it says he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, you know, this mark, you know, we've been prophesying what this mark is for a very, very long time. And you know, I can't, I'll say, you know, the apostles and elders, you know, and bishops have been prophesying about this for a long time. And it's to the point to where, you know, they were prophesying about it decades before I and, you know, other brothers came into the truth. And we've been prophesying about it for a long time. And it's at the point to where we've made these things, you know, we broke it down, made it clear to understand, and now it's coming to pass to where if you can't see it now, you know, then the Lord isn't allowing you to see it. If a person doesn't know what the MOTB is up to this point, then a person has to catch up, because now it's becoming more mainstream. It's becoming, you know, people are talking about it more. And so what really, you know, stemmed me to do his lesson, you know, I seen brothers speaking about it, bringing out how Mr. Beast, which is this YouTuber, you know, who has hundreds of millions of subscribers, you know, a lot of people who watch his videos, he was going into different technologies, and one of the technologies he went into in the video was the Neuralink. Now, you know, Mr. Beast is what some people will call an influencer, you know, and for him to, you know, go on this YouTube video and bring out this Neuralink technology and essentially advertise it, you know, show what it's capable of, show what you can do with it. What that's going to do is, you know, put that technology in front of more people so that it is, you know, he talked about it in a light and in a positive light. Even before he did this video a week ago, where he went into the Neuralink and its capabilities, you know, he talked about it a while ago. I want to say a year or a couple years ago, and he spoke about the Neuralink on how, if you get it, that you can make all the money in the world. He basically spoke and said, you don't have to worry about how much the procedure would cost, because once you get it, then you have access to all this technology, because the Neuralink is connected to the internet. And you have all this data, you have all this, this powerful search engine that's in your brain, where now you have basically hyper intelligence, and now you can, do whatever you want to, you have the capability to make money however, in more ways. And, he's basically just putting it out there in a way that makes it seem appealing. And that's what the scriptures speak about in Revelation chapter 13, verse 14, which says, "And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast." Because the different things that this this technology can do is miraculous in ways. And this recent video that Mr. Beast did, where he was talking about the Neuralink, he was with one of the people who went under the procedure to get the Neuralink. And people who are getting that technology right now are people who are paraplegics, people who are paralyzed, who can't walk, who can't move. And once they get that Neuralink in their brain, what they're able to do is now they can control things as a regular human can, as a regular person with all their capability. They can control things, but with their brain waves, which is a miraculous feat, and now they can, they advertise it that now you can, do things with your family. You can speak to your loved ones. You can, live alone and control the things in your house. Just get the, digital versions of things. And now you can control, and live as a regular person as long as you have this technology. And that's the thing, Esau wants to normalize this technology and make it so that it's not jarring to people, and that's all a part of that gradualism. Let's get that word gradualism, which the definition is a policy of gradual reform rather than sudden change or revolution. And that's the thing. Esau is gradually getting people conditioned to this technology, because this is if Esau was to come and say, okay, we're going to start putting this, we're going to make this mandatory to where you have to get this technology in your hand. You have to get this chip. People would be adverse to it. They like, man, I'm not about to put that in me. What you talking about? Like, some people may be cool with it, but it would be too much for just a sudden, snap of the finger, thing to do that. So what have we seen? We've seen a gradual step-by-step process that ultimately leads to the chip, where everybody was using physical versions of things like cash, like a social security number, like your card. You had these different things to where now things are going digital. Now we're going towards a cashless society, to where now slowly but surely cash is becoming obsolete. Because what happened first? You had cards. You had debit and credit cards, which got people accustomed to using the card reader instead of, using cash. So, it was more convenient. It was, faster to use. You didn't have to, count your money. It was on your bank account, all on this one card that you could just swipe, insert, tap, and boom, go about your day. Now they're making it to where some places don't even accept cash and you have to use your card. It's gotten to the point to where you don't even need your physical card. You can use your phone. And now you can use tap to pay on your phone, to where you put your card information in your phone, boom, go to the card reader, tap it, and you're done. And now with this iPhone, you can put in your Apple Wallet not just your debit and credit cards, But now you can put your ID to where if you get pulled over, boom, pop, show your phone real fast. You can show your ID. Or if paying for alcohol or something like that, boom, double tap your phone. Now you can show your ID. You don't have to have the physical card no more. And now when these options are available, that's when things are made mandatory, to where you look at in the UK, and they say, well, you have to have a digital ID in order for you to work. That goes back into the precept where it says he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. It's not the chip yet, but it's a requirement that's leading up to it. Because if, a person needs to work so that they can, get money, so that they can, sustain their lives, pay their bills, pay their rent, do these different things, take care of their family, but you can't work unless you get this digital ID. What if you don't want to get it? Well, then, too bad. So it slowly but surely is going to lead to where if you want to get money in order to sustain your life and pay for certain things and live comfortably, you have to get this chip. Because when we read on, it says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Now Esau is going to push this as if it's something to make life better, as if it's something to make people, make things more convenient for people, make things safer. He's going to push it as if it's better for the environment. Look at what he's doing with the Neuralink, to where he's acting like, he's solving people's issues with, being paralyzed and paraplegics, to where he's, making their lives, easier and better. And now they can, he's playing on the people's minds, to where the true reason why Esau is doing this. Let's go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. As a matter of fact, you will grab this and then we'll grab the next precept. We're going to go to 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4, which says, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High. Who is doing this? Esau, Edom. It says in the previous verse that the man of sin would be revealed, the son of perdition. And who is that? Esau. Esau is known as the wicked in the scriptures. And it says that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And who's ruling over this earth today? Esau. Now it says that he opposed and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High. And that's what Esau is doing. He has a God complex, because what Esau is truly doing with this chip is that he wants control over the people. Even when we see the process of him bringing this chip about, it is all about control. When a person uses cash, they can make different transactions and do different things that's off the record. It's not, in Esau's records and is not on Esau's radar. But when you do a transaction, when you can't use cash and you have to use a card, you have to use something that's on Esau's grid. He sees what you're buying. He sees your habits. He sees the different things that you're doing. He doesn't want anybody doing anything with, being independent or off of Esau's control or out of his view. He wants to mimic the Most High, to where it says the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Beholding, let's grab that real fast, because that's what Esau is doing. That's why I calls him the man of sin, because he believes that he can be the Most High and mimic his omnipresence, how the Most High is everywhere all at once. He believes that he can mimic the Most High's omnipotency, being all powerful. Let's grab that though. Let me see. Let's get Sirach chapter 23 verse 19, which says, such a man only feareth the eyes of men, and knoweth not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts. So the Lord sees everything going on. He knows what everybody's thinking. He knows, Nothing goes under the radar from the Most High because He created all of us. The Lord, none of us would be breathing if it wasn't for the Most High. The Most High knows all our thoughts. So with that being said, with this technology, when Esau puts that chip in you, or in your hand or in your head, what it's doing is that it's connecting with your body to where Esau is not only knowing everywhere that you are all the time, he's able to see all your vitals. He's able to, control what you're able to do, if you're able to buy and sell, where what you have access to. But it's also to the point to where he wants to know what you're thinking. He wants to know what you dream about. He wants to know, he wants to have you in the palm of his hand as him being a God. And this technology will give him the ability to sort of mimic that. So let's go back to 2 Thessalonians 2:4, which says, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. And I want to grab this quote real fast. Let me see if I can find it quickly. Where you have Noah Yuval Harari. And this guy is, he's a small hatter and a Melechite. And, he's one of them, technocrat people, to where he's with this, this New World Order ideology that Esau is pushing, but he has a quote. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Let me see. Okay. It says, Yuval Noah Harari. So like I said, Noah Yuval Harari. But Yuval Noah Harari discusses humanity upgrading itself to godlike status through technology, often noting we can surpass traditional, natural, or biblical limitations. He suggests humans are acquiring divine abilities to create life and re-engineer reality, moving beyond the God of the Bible. And that's what Esau doesn't understand. Let's grab this precept real fast, because it explains Esau down to the T. Isaiah 47:10, which says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it had perverted thee. Now, and that word perverted, when you go into it, I recently grabbed this word too, but we got to go into it again. It's Strong's H 7725, which is shawab. And that word means to turn back. So basically to turn back from the Most High, to turn away from the Most High. And so this technology, this wisdom that the Lord has allowed Esau to have, this technology the Lord has allowed Esau to create has him in the mindset to where he is thinking that, he's better than the Most High, that he's surpassing the Most High. As the scriptures say, it says what? The Lord, let's grab this. I gotta search it. Okay, this is 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 6, which says, the Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up, which is showing what? That it's in the power of the Most High that people live and that people die. There would be no life if it wasn't sanctioned by the Most High. But what Esau is doing is that he wants to create artificial life. And that's the thing. All these things are called artificial this, artificial that. You have artificial life, artificial intelligence. And what does artificial mean? It means fake. So with all this technology and all this intelligence that Esau has, it pales in comparison to what Esau can actually do. He wants to be able to artificially inseminate women, create robots that can, artificial life forms in these robots that can bear children. because he wants to have that power of making alive. This is the mindset of Esau. This is a wicked man. But let's go back to Isaiah 47 and verse 10, which says, "For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it had perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me." And that's the thing. What did the Most High Yahweh say when he came to Moses, before he sent Moses to Egypt? When Moses asked, what is thy name? He said, I am that I am. And so now Esau's in that mindset of saying, I am, and none else beside me. That God complex that he has. So let's see here. So what, I wanted to make this lesson based off of what I've seen with Mr. Beast, because what you're going to have is that, even though Esau has a wicked agenda with this technology, he wants to basically, do what the scriptures, what we read in the scriptures with the Tower of Babel, to where there was a one, they was creating a one world government, consolidating everything under this one system. That's what Esau wants to do. He wants to consolidate everybody under this one thing, with this new world order, with this great reset. And in order to make people more on board with it, to make it more normal, what we're going to see is that these people who are tapped into Esau's system, such as Mr. Beast and other celebrities, are going to push this technology as if it's something good. And that's going to make people more open to it. That's going to make people more, willing to go in that direction. Because we already have the gradualism of, now we're using these digital payments, and we're going in the direction of getting away from physical things and going into a cashless society. We're walking toward the direction of the chip. Now that's conditioning people's minds, but now Esau wants people to be supportive of it, be okay with it. So what we're going to see is you're going to have these celebrities, these influencers pushing it, these streamers. You're going to, best believe, soon you're going to see streamers start to get it and talk about how cool it is. And then, the kids is going to want to get it. People are theorizing that Kim Kardashian is going to push it, which is just a theory as of right now. Because what you had recently is, she took some brain scans, because she wants to take her bar exam, and she took some brain scans, and it showed that she had some some deficiencies in her brain. And people are and Kim Kardashian in the past has pushed different technologies that Elon Musk came out with, such as the Tesla robots. So they're saying that, they're expecting that Kim Kardashian will start a marketing campaign that she's going to get the Neuralink, or a technology similar to it, that is boosting her brain power and showing people, see, I can pass my bar exam once I get this technology. You should get it too. It can help you accomplish the different things you want to accomplish in life. It can make you smart. It can make you rich. It can do this and do that. And so these people are going to be set up to add to the temptation of this system, and that's why let's grab that Revelation 3 and 10, because that's what this is at the end of the day. It's a temptation. Esau is going to make it to where, it is hard to live without this technology. And not only that, it's hard to live, but then you're going to see everybody around you getting it. And people are going to be looking at you like, why aren't you getting it? What's your problem? Let's grab it. Revelation 3 and 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. And what's that patience? That patience is us holding fast unto this word. Seeking Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai in this wicked world. We're constantly enduring in the face of all the troubles that befall us, all the things we've had to sacrifice. staying disciplined. It says what? I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. So those of us that are of the elect, the Lord is going to be with us to get us past this time. But it says this temptation, it says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Now let's get that word temptation. It says Strong's G3986, which is the Greek word parasmos. It says an experiment, attempt, trial, proving. This right here is beautiful. The trial of man's fidelity, integrity, virtue, constancy. Because it's going to get to a point to where, again, this is the hour of temptation. So there's going to be a lot of variables that's going to tempt people to get this chip. We read in Revelation 13 and 17, this is one variable where it says that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. To where not only will you not be able to buy or sell, you're not going to be able to do anything in Esau's technology because it's all going to be under the system of that mark. You won't be able to go to the hospital, if you have to go to the hospital. You won't be able to go to the grocery store and get the things that you need. You won't be able to pay bills. You won't be able to use your phone, pay your phone bill. Why? Because it's all you're going to have to pay for these things with the chip. And if you don't get it, you can't. So how are you going to, pay for gas to drive your car? How are you going to, watch TV? You can't pay for cable, all these different things. All the things that has made our life comfortable and that we've been accustomed to is going to be cut off because we won't have this chip. And that's going to be a tempting. But the thing is, the elect, the scriptures say what? That the Lord has reserved unto himself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. Now that 7,000 is not literally 7,000. It represents a complete number, which is that 144,000 and the 1/3 of the nation of Israel. And that's the men, women, and children who the Lord has reserved that is not going to buckle to this system, because the walls are going to close in and it's going to be a very trying time. But the Lord is going to be with the elect to keep them strong through all of it, to where we're going to depend on Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai instead of Esau. We don't need, what Esau can, what Esau provides. The Lord will provide for us. The scriptures say that my servants shall eat, in the time of famine. But what? The 2/3, they're going to immediately buckle once Esau makes this chip mandatory. Why? Because, let's go to Isaiah chapter 30, which says, woe to the rebellious children, said the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. And America is the modern day Egypt. As Egypt was the house of bondage for the nation of Israel, America is the house of bondage for the nation of Israel. America spiritually embodies, ancient Egypt. And it says what? That you have the rebellious children, which are of the nation of Israel, who is speaking about the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. It says that they take counsel, but not of the Lord. They cover with a covering, but not of the Lord. They take what Esau can defend them with. They don't trust in the Lord's provision. They trust in Esau's, the benefits that Esau give out, the things that Esau gives to sustain life. So once the time comes and Esau says you can't eat, you can't get these benefits, you can't, get no universal basic income and live and go to the store and do this and do that unless you get this chip. That's all that's on our people's mind. They don't have a spiritual mindset to think, well, the Lord gonna provide all this without your help. I don't need your help. The Lord can get this to me. The 2/3 ain't gonna be accustomed to thinking like that. They haven't built up that faith. So they're gonna immediately buckle. It says that they walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at the Lord's mouth. You know, our people, and you have a lot of our people that don't even accept Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. They still calling on white Jesus and Allah, and running to Esau for all the things that they need. So they not going to be able to unplug once this technology comes, and that's mandatory. You know, and you know, with these celebrities, with these rappers, these these different women's celebrities that these Jake women follow, all these different people, these influencers, they gonna make it seem like this is the way to live, this is the answer to life, and our people gonna fall for the okie doke. They gonna walk right in that direction, because all these different things that these celebrities push, you see our people starting to do it. Our people are easily influenced. So it's going to be no different once this chip is pushed and advertised and put out there. But the thing is, we're not supposed to get this. The scriptures prophesy a great destruction unto those who go along with this system that Esau is pushing. Let's go to Revelation chapter 14, verse 9, which said, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb." Because what we have to understand is that there's a great destruction coming here to Babylon the Great. And those who, are not found to be of the elect, once that destruction comes by way of thermonuclear missiles in World War III, those who aren't of the elect, those who don't have that tawah, that mark of exemption that the scriptures speak about, they won't be saved. They won't receive salvation from that destruction. And so, once you get that chip, you have a one-way ticket to that fire and brimstone that the scriptures. And I want to make mention of this as well, because you have a lot of our people who, when they hear about fire and brimstone, they hear about, the smoke ascending forever and ever, they get that idea of hell, as the church has taught us, how, you're going to burn forever in hell, and that's where you're going to go, that's going to be your judgment. Hell isn't real. That hell is a myth, or how the Christian church teaches it is a myth, because what hell is speaking about in the scriptures is just death. Hell is the grave, or hell can be a condition as well. The lake of fire is America once it is destroyed by the missiles. Because we have to understand that there's going to be millions of warheads that is going to hit this place, being sent from all these different countries around the world that hold thermonuclear, that hold, missile capability. So they're going to all shoot their missiles over here, they ICBMs, and them explosions from the missiles, all them missiles hitting, is going to cause that fire and that fire and brimstone that is going to come from them. So all that great destruction, it said, one missile can destroy, let's get that stat real fast. I don't want to put it out there wrong. Let me see. So let's see how much, or let's see how much can one ICBM destroy. Which says a single modern ICBM, which is an intercontinental ballistic missile, a missile that can be shot from one country, from one side of the earth to the other side of the earth. It says, often equipped with multiple warheads, can destroy a major city entirely. So one of these missiles can destroy New York, can destroy, LA. It says causing hundreds of thousands to millions of fatalities through blast, fire, and radiation. So let's see. It says a single 300 to 800 kiloton warhead can flatten buildings within a 3 to 7 kilometer radius and ignite fires miles away, causing immediate devastation. So let's see how many ICBMs exist in the world. So it says that there's 12,200 to 12,500 nuclear warheads in the world. So if they're saying that one of them can do that much damage, imagine, over 10,000 of them. So that's why it describes this place as a lake of fire, as it's going to be. And it says that smoke is going to, let's read on in Revelation 14 and verse 11, which says, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever. Why is that smoke going to be ascending like that? Because this fire is going to burn for a very, very long time. And this place is going to be a monument to, the judgment of wickedness, the judgment of Esau and his kingdom, the judgment of the 2/3. This place is going. You're going to be able to see that smoke afar off from, the coast of different countries, looking from a distance. It says, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. So we ain't supposed to get this technology, man. This is you are turning away from Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Once you get this, you are blatantly saying that, the video got cut off. As I was saying, you are blatantly saying that you're going to trust in Esau's system and Esau's way rather than Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. So yeah. Let me see. And that's the thing. That's why we have to build up in faith, man, because a lot of people who get this technology, they're going to get it because they, they're not going to be willing to go hungry in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. They're not going to be willing to deny themselves in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, or to be judged. Let's get let's get Matthew. Actually, no, we're going to get Mark chapter 8. Let me see if this is the right one. This is good. This isn't what I was looking for, but this is good. Mark chapter 8, verse 34, which says, and when he had called the people unto him with his disciples also, he said unto them, whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever shall lose his life for my sake and the gospel's, the same shall save it. And we're going to have to sacrifice everything once this chip comes. We ain't going to be able to do the different things that we've grown comfortable and accustomed with in this world. We're going to have to truly step out on faith and really walk as pilgrims upon this earth more than we are right now. We may not be able to live in a house. We may not be able to, we might have to be separate from, we already got to separate from our families for this truth's sake. Imagine once that time comes and, your woman didn't hold, she lost faith and she got the chip and she made the kids get the chip. Lord forbid, but these are the different things we got to think about. Imagine your family around you got it, and they know that you didn't get it, and they reporting you to Esau, and you got to, this is the different scenarios we got to think about. Having to live off the grid, having to really let go of everything in order to walk after Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. We have to deny ourselves, man. And that's stepping out on faith, with the hope of salvation, with the hope that we're going to be protected. Because at the end of the day, it says, the name of the Lord is a strong tower, the righteous runneth into it and is safe. So even though we're going to be letting go of the security that we've learned to, trust in this world, we have the security of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. We have the wisdom and knowledge of these scriptures of knowing what. Let's go to Let me see if I remember. Matthew 6 and 33. No, let's go up some. Matthew 6 and verse 30. Oh, no. Let me see. So, like, I want to find a good part. Okay. Matthew 6 and 25. It says, "Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment? Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they?" The Lord gonna take care of us, man. As long as the scriptures say, strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. So as long as we doing, as long as we suffering and denying this world, denying Esau's system in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, we gonna be taken care of. Even if we captured and Esau is threatening us with, death, with imprisonment, with all these different things, because we don't want to take his, line with his system and take that chip. The Lord is seeing all that, and we're going to be rewarded for it. That's why the scriptures say in Revelation 2 and 10, it says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. We can't be scared of these things, man. We have to understand that Esau can do whatever he wants to his physical body, but he can't, our soul is in the hand of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. If we suffer for this truth's sake, there's a reward that comes with it. Forget all these things that Esau can offer us, and all these, miracles that he's going to push these things, and he's going to make life easier. You'll have superpowers. You'll be able to think greater than you've ever thought before. Man, we don't want nothing that Esau has to offer, because everything he got to offer is tacky. It's going to be destroyed. We looking for them new bodies, them perfect bodies that the scriptures prophesy about, and the new covenant in our kingdom. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. So that's the thing. This is a trying process. This is a temptation. The Lord is going to see, if we're going to hold fast to our faith. Let's get that word tried. I believe it's the same word from earlier for temptation. Yep, it is. And again, it says Strong's G3985 parazo, and it says to try, make trial of, test for the purpose of ascertaining his quality, which I think this is a different word, but it's all good. It says make trial of, test for the purpose of ascertaining his quality, or what he thinks, or how he will behave himself. Yep, it's to try one's faith, virtue, character by enticement to sin. So there's going to be this whole process we about to go into is going to be an enticement to fold, to buckle, and it's going to see, are we going to hold fast unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai despite that? So that's why it says, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. That's what we fighting for, that crown of life, man. So just want to do this lesson real fast. As the scriptures say, let's get it. Second Ezra chapter 9 verse 5, which says, for like as all that is made in the world had the beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. For Mr. Beast to come on that video and he's talking about the Neuralink, that's, people are going to be talking about it. People, it's going to be on people's minds, and we're getting closer and closer to where this is about to be, Esau about to start rolling this thing out. That's why all this money is being pumped into AI data centers. That's all a part of this system. Why you think these data centers are being built? Why you think, Esau is, going forward with this AI? Because he needs that to go hand in hand with this chip in order to surveil everybody and make sure that the system is running properly, and that everybody is on that grid. His infrastructure has to be put together properly. So that's what he's doing right now. So we're getting closer and closer. The end is near. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Baruch HaKodesh, I want to give double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of GMS and a salutation unto the elect. Shalom.